In December 2021, Ryen from Pharem Biotech presented their technology, Zymatic, a low-energy, low-cost technology for targeted removal of organic micropollutants. Now, they achieved this through the use of special enzymes, introduced in the later stages of the wastewater treatment process. Zymatic targets various organic micropollutants which have one thing in common. Their chemistry makes them recalcitrant. They're difficult to remove in conventional wastewater treatment processes, so they persist in the treated effluent, and then they cause toxic effects in the receiving environment. Pharem have built up a library of enzymes based on those found naturally in fungi and bacteria, so they can tailor each treatment process to a specific compound. How they do that is they target specific functional groups on the pollutant molecule that are responsible for its toxic effects. And by destroying the functional group, Zymatic removes the toxicity of the compound before it ends up in the environment. Pharem immobilized the enzymes on a sand-like material, which is contained in a gravity-fed filtration column where the enzymes break down the target contaminants. Enter AkzoNobel Adhesives in Sweden. AkzoNobel treat their wastewater using biological processes. Driven by their internal sustainability goals and their expectation of increasingly stringent legislation, they are now working with Pharem to target and remove melamine residuals in their wastewater. Their technology trial is supported by Isle's Advanced Industrial Trial Reservoir, so I sat down with Ryen, CEO of Pharem, and AkzoNobel site manager Ann Gustafsson, and I asked them what the Zymatic trial entails and, if it works, what's next. Thank you both very much for joining us on the Water Action platform. I am delighted to have you, and congratulations on the launch of your trial, the newest one in the Advanced Industrial Water Trial Reservoir. Martin, the first question is for you. Can you give us in a nutshell what your technology is and what it does?
Yeah, sure. So we developed a enzyme-based water filtration system, and the core part of it is actually that we developed a platform that allows enzymes to be used in a very cost-efficient way for both industrial wastewater but also municipal wastewater.
Oh, amazing. And what do these enzymes do?
So the good thing with the platform is that we can use any type of enzymes, and the enzymes have been researched all over the place for different type of applications, but the challenge has always been to make it cost efficient enough to bring it to the market, and that's what we can do with our platform. And the enzymes we use focus on breaking down the pollutants or the chemicals to lesser parts that are less toxic or completely mineralized, depending on customer needs.
Anne, over to you. From your perspective, what's the driver for this trial? So what need is this trial intended to satisfy?
I work at a site where we have a biological treatment of the wastewater that we get from the process. And we are fulfilling the permits that we have for the site, but we also have some challenges in decreasing our outlets further that goes out to the surroundings here. So this is something that we think that we can get help with from working with the enzyme filter. And particularly we want to focus on some specific chemical that we think that if we can decrease this will also lower all or some of the other subjects that we have in the water that goes out to the surrounding.
That's fascinating. What's the driver that causes you to focus on that need? Is it a legislative requirement, a cost requirement, or a corporate goal, for example?
It's both that the company I work for is very much focused on working on sustainability, but also one other main driver for us is also that we have the EU legislation that concerns wastewater plants. So it's partly both from our own initiative, but also from legislation point of view.
Martin, if I can come back to you, what do you think the change in the EU legislation is going to mean for your company's development and your technology?
Only positive things. The challenge with how we work with enzymes is that we usually combine different type of enzymes and to give different type of effect profiles and these kind of things. So what the legislation does for us is that it really pinpoints what is needed and what you need to treat. So in that sense, we can be more specific in how we develop our solution and which type of enzymes we use in the solution. So that allows us to simply be more specific in the different versions of the product that we have to deploy into the market.
Back to Anne then for the last question. What are your hopes and dreams? What would you like to do at the end of the trial period, all being well?
I really want, of course, that the trial will be successful, because that will also mean that we will buy it and use it as part of our wastewater plant that we have today. So that's my dream for this project that we have together.
Anne and Martin, thank you. I can't wait to see the trial results, and I love the way Anne's words echoed those of Chris earlier. Change is being driven by AkzoNobel's foresight in setting their own internal goals and also keeping an eye on future legislative change. So they're trying new methods now so they will be ready before the rules change.